words, and also Mr. Safraz. You know, my dear devotees, my dear brothers and sisters, my community members, I live in Arangwes, just right after that school there. And you know, for the past years, we have been struck by so much of crime. People who I do prayers for, people who I know in the community, Ramlochan Street, Johnny King Street, Arangwes Main Road, Boundary Road, Boundary Extension Road, there's crime. Crime upon crime. And crime doesn't take place in the night, it takes place in the day. You know that? Sometimes I just now leave, ride down the road, come back home, and they say, Baba, it have police down the road, now shoot some bandits. Or some bandits have now gone in this home and thief. Or some bandits have gone in that home and vandalized the home and tortured the people in the home. Right in Johnny King Road. Ramlochan Street, Fazar Ali Street, all of these streets, they have to pay money now to get private security to secure their own things when the government's supposed to be doing that for us. The roads are deplorable. When you are dodging one hole, you go down in the next hole. When you are driving, you cannot drive as you want because there's so much of difficulties and problem. And not to mention the economy. As our Imam has said, as our pastor has said, the funds are being placed in different people's pockets. We may not know who it is. Interior Commission, all of these different commissions, all of these courts that we have are being what? Only for one set of people. My brothers and sisters, when we are in problem, when we are in darkness, when we are in a state of depression, we turn to God. And that is what we are doing. Through meetings like this, through people coming together for one purpose. As we always say, if you stand for something, but do not stand for nothing, stand for something in life. And today we ask God to bless this community, to bless this community of Trinidad, to bless this country of Trinidad, to bless this community of St. Joseph, to bless all of the ministers, all of the members of parliament, all of the people of the United National Congress who are doing their part. And we as the supporters, myself, UNC, a supporter of the UNC, and myself, a pundit of the Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha, always standing together with the United National Congress in helping our country. You know, my brothers and sisters, you may not know, I am one of the pundits whose temple was vandalized. In my temple, they broke in 3 times in Karapo. They proceeded to cook corned beef in the temple and discriminate our murtis and discriminate our whole setting. And up till today, we haven't gotten a word who or what or where or when it was happened or where the items is. I thank the community for helping us. I thank the pundits of the Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha. I thank my brother pundit minister, our dear member of parliament, Dinesh Rambali. And my dear devotees, I cannot forget, a person that came there that day was Rohan Sinanan. And one of the words he said when he came to the podium, I didn't came here as a minister, but I came here as a Hindu. And I congratulate him for that. But what would have been more appropriate if he had come as a minister? If he had come as a minister and stand up there and say, I came as a minister because I see my community, I see my country going down. We didn't see a single statement from the Prime Minister saying that he discriminates what happened to the church. He discriminates what happened to the mosque in Diego Martin. He discriminates what happened to the water, to the mandir in Karapo. But my dear devotees, he had a lot of different things to say. I thank God that truth, whatever happens in the dark, will come to light. And they say when we are dark and gloomy and sad, after is laughter and happiness. And I know when 2025 comes, it wouldn't have a PNM government. It'll have a United National Congress government. And that will be a government that will bring about the sunrise to our country. Will bring all of the gloominess out and bring about happiness in our country. I ask you all, let us all put our hands together. And whatever faith you belong to, let us all say a prayer, asking God to bless this community, that we don't have this trial and tribulation that we are facing every day. Every day. People are fed up. And all the people who I do prayers for, and they call me and say, Baba, they just come and vandalize me. They take all my belongings. I'm hurt. The police have footage, and they're not even arresting one person to get back my things. I ask God to bless them, to give them the courage and the hope, and to give you, the citizen of this country, hope that when election call, we'll have something of happiness. Hari Om Bando Pavana Kuman Khalapala Pavak Jnana Gana Jaso Hare Agha Bas Hi Ram Charcha Padre Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bunaktu Sahavedam Khadabhavahe Tejasvinamditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe Om Shanti 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 Hari Om प्रेम से बड़ो अयोध्यापति रामचंद्र की जय.
Thank you very much, Pundit. My friends, so we have called the name of the Almighty in the three faiths. How we feeling now? Nice. We step in with God as our leader said, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisasa. We put God in front and we walk behind. My friends, I would just like to summarize what our honored Imam Imtiaz, Bishop Jamil, Pundit Rakesh, all of them said basically the same message, that evil is pervading our land now under this wicked PNM government. But you know what? We are good people, and good will always triumph over evil. That is why the UNC will come back in power. I remember, all of us remember that dreaded COVID. That dreaded COVID that would have taken our country the last 2 years. And unfortunately, sadly, we lost over, Brian, how much? 4,000? Over 4,000 of our citizens died because of the mismanagement of this PNM government and COVID. And we send condolences to all those families. But nothing this wicked PNM government could say or do to bring any sort of joy to those families who lost that loved one. The reason why I'm talking about that, right? The reason why I'm talking about that is because of this point I would like to state. During that COVID period, we all face hardship in one way or the other. Our nation as a whole faced hardship. But you know what saved us? You know what saved us? The Almighty saved us, one. But two, tell me if you all remember this. We had farmers all over the place and vendors open up little fruits and vegetables stall at the side of the road. You all remember that? To help feed our nation and for them also to make a little dollar because all businesses were closed. If it wasn't for those farmers and those vendors, our nation would have been starving. Those farmers and vendors saved our nation. And I am telling my good friends and family here right now that the PNM government has failed us in agriculture. They have power over 7 years now, from since 2015. What has this PNM government done for agriculture? Absolutely nothing. We had a failure. Probably the worst minister ever graced Trinidad and Tobago. His name is Clarence Rambarat. He did nothing, absolutely nothing for agriculture. And you know what Rowley did? Rewarded him. When he resigned last year, Rowley rewarded him by forming a new state body called Single Point Access. And apparently Clarence is going to be the head of that agency. Why am I bringing up all this now? Because Arangwes used to be considered long ago as the food basket of the nation. Sadly, under this wicked PNM government, they have literally all but decimated and destroyed the agriculture sector. Not only in Aranguez, all over the country, farmers are suffering. I will say more about this. I am a director with the ASCT. I will tell you all more. But I would like to bring on a very dynamic speaker at the moment. Right, this is my brother. I would have co-hosted a radio program with him on Douglas Politics. He is the coordinator for Labre, co-host of Douglas Politics. He also has obtained a distinction in legal studies, a certificate program. Please welcome the warrior from Labre, Mr. Victor Roberts.
Honorable political leader, members of NATEX, members of the St. Joseph Executive, councillors, aldermen, and you, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, I am proud to see so many of you in your numbers here tonight, because this will signify to Terence Dial Singh that the new sheriff is in town. And this sheriff, ladies and gentlemen, is not Sheriff Lobo. It is the sheriff in the name of Anil Roberts, a man who will continue to work for the people of this constituency. This week I was very much critical of the religious leaders in this country. But today I want to let the Imam, the Pundit, and my Christian brother know that I will remove their name off of the list from amongst those wicked leaders who continue, who in 2010 and 2015 were campaigning up and down the East-West corridor against Kamla Prasad Bisesa. But now we have a dictator. Now we have the most amount of corruption. Now we have a high-ranking official who sits in the cabinet of this government, who continue to be amongst those of this pedophile group, and yet to the end of the day, we cannot hear our religious leaders crying out for justice. But these men who have listened here tonight, I want to congratulate you and tell you to stand strong, because you have pointed out, ladies and gentlemen, the level of corruption. We have a special branch report against Foster Cummins. We have allegation of mass corruption. And in the UK Parliament, we have seen members who were sitting in the cabinet of Boris took a position that they will not support corruption, unlike those in the PNM who will sit among Skeet Rowley and continue to allow blatant corruption to take place, where our children, your children, our grandchildren, our unborn babies will be robbed of the resources, of the wealth of this country by the conduct of this people's national movement. And today, ladies and gentlemen, it is the beginning of reinstating none other than a dynamic leader, a dynamic prime minister, none other than Kamla, the Honorable Prasad Bisesa, to take the reins of government in this country so that you and my children will have a better future. God bless you. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Make some noise, St. Joseph! Let me send a message to Terence Dial Singh and let him know the UNT coming for St. Joseph. I need you. Make some noise! Our next speaker is the president of the Aranguez Taxi Driver Association. He's no stranger to any one of us here in St. Joseph, because you know what we call him? The local minister of works. He continues to rally with the association, patching holes throughout Aranguez. And as we all know, We have hole bigger than your car. So that is an expense. Do you agree? Let us welcome Mr. Timal Ramchanda.
Come down, come down, come down, come down. UNC in tongue, in tongue, in tongue, in tongue, in tongue. I don't want to leave you on top of the house. I need you to come down here for me now. You're claiming me and them is boss, but look how high they come.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. I am no stranger in Arangwes. By now, everyone should know who I am. I don't need no big introduction. I am the president of the Arangwes Taxi Driver Association. And for years, since 2015, I've been suffering for funding, materials. We have been asking the ministries to assist us in fixing the road. And to this day, we haven't got anything at all. So I was fortunate to approach a couple of business people in the area, especially like Full Time Hardware, Arangwes Hardware, and other business. They was very supportive of me by supplying me gravel and cement. And today, up to today, I fixed a pothole by Roti Lovers. I don't know if anybody know that big pothole. Vehicles going on inside there and causing traffic jam and today it was a relief for some drivers. And it's not only affecting we as taxi drivers, it's affecting every single person throughout who travels throughout the Arangwes community. And I want to thank Councillor Ahmed Suknanan for giving me the opportunity to, highlight some of my issues that being affected by us. And I make an appeal today to ask people to come on board with me. It is not political, whether it's PNM, whether it's UNC, whoever you are, I ask you that to come forward to make this community a better place. I have been fixing potholes, I've been painting humps in the street. Anything there's around where I see there's a need to do, I will be doing it. I want to make our community a better community, right? So I want to say with these few words, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, and I am asking for your support to come and assist me so that we can work together to make a better community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Timal. As Councillor Jalen said, he's our local Minister of Works. Whenever you see road patching going on, it's not the Ministry of Works, it's our local Minister of Works, Mr. Timal. Give him a round of applause. It will be remiss of me if I don't recognize certain people in the crowd. You won't believe something. Our UNC party is truly a national party. We have people from all over the country. So I would like to recognize our hardworking councillors and supporters from Grande. Make some noise for the Grande crew. Councillor Kenwin, Councillor Calvin, Ollerman, Councillor Anil Maraj, you all doing a fantastic work. Continue to fly the flag high, and we take him back Grande when the local government call. All right, our next speaker is a community activist. He is a footballer he plays football with the Progressive Youth Movement League, with the Strollers Football Club. He was the local government candidate for the Sawa East local government election. Please welcome Mr. Gat Mills.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the beautiful constituency of St. Joseph. A special good evening to my political leader, the Honorable Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, a lady of substance who demonstrates the quality of true leadership. To all MPs, councillors, invited guests, our UNC members, and the great people of St. Joseph, good evening. My name is Gat Mills, a former local government candidate, and a prospective local government candidate. This evening, I'm here to say, enough is enough. Enough is enough of this uncaring waste of time PNM government. Enough is enough for a government that only cares for their friends, families, and finances. Enough is enough for a government that shows no regard for the average man on the ground. Enough is enough for a government that only conducts projects in areas that are considered PNM strongholds and neglect those with any UNC partiality. I see this happening in Sanwa East. Tell me, is it acceptable that in 2022 we still have issues with water, garbage collection, bad roads, not even an effective plan or solution for flooding and crime? When our honorable leader, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, was Prime Minister, she made sure that all was taken care of. At no time did she say, if there's PNM, don't get them nothing. Mrs. Bissessar was a leader for all. She ensured that everyone, including the children and elderly, were taken care of. Right here in St. Joseph, we have a sitting minister who likes to shed tears. I'm here to tell him, Mr. Minister, it is time you start crying for all the lives lost under your care as health minister, because God does not sleep. Healthcare under you has deteriorated. COVID was used as a toy under your government. Imagine if they put this man to run national security. God help us. It is time the people of Trinidad and Tobago join together to get rid of this PNM government and put the worst days behind us. Let us unite and bring back the party that cares about the nation. That party is United National Congress. The leader, the Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar. My fellow constituents, do you know the true meaning of PNM? People never matters. The persons who lost their lives under COVID, they didn't matter. The persons who lost their jobs, they didn't matter. The persons who cannot afford basic food supplies, they do not matter. The persons who lost loved ones to crime, they do not matter. But under Kamala Persad-Bissessar, the elderly got a pension increase. Workers got a minimum wage increase. Single mothers got a baby grant every month. Parents with special needs children got stipends. VAT was removed from majority of food items. She helped sick children with the Children's Life Fund she created. She created jobs for the jobless. She built schools. She built police stations. She fixed roads. She provided water for all. And that is just to name a few. We could go on and on. What has PNM done for the average man? Absolutely nothing. We are suffering, fighting to make ends meet, to put food on our tables, to provide for our children. During this pandemic, how many people really got help from this government? People lost their jobs. They made accessing a grant impossible for many. They gave out hampers and expected it to last forever. My brothers and sisters, open your eyes. This government does not care. All they do is tell lies, lies, and more lies. As I come to an end, I want to encourage you to wake up. Wake up, people of St. Joseph. Have our lives gotten any better? Has the country gotten any better? This PNM government does not care about you. The government is so detached from its citizens. We are at our worst in this country. It is crucial now more than ever to rid this country of this waste of time PNM government. PNM must go. Let me hear you say, PNM must go. My brothers and sisters, it's time to bring back a party that cares for you. A party that does not neglect areas because of party affiliation. A party that cares for all. The United National Congress under the leadership of Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Let us put God in front and walk behind. Long live the UNC. Long live Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Long live our beloved country. Have a good night and God bless you all.
That is the fire we have in St. Joseph. Make some noise. Rowley must go. The Elsing must go. Yes. Our next speaker, ladies and gentlemen, he is no stranger to St. Joseph. He is no stranger to the UNC. He has been a stalwart since Club 88. You all remember Club 88? He has been a councillor in 1996 and he served 17 years for the electoral district of San Juan East. He returned in 2016 as alderman and to date he sits as alderman. Let us welcome Alderman Nazimul Mohammed.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, my good friend Jalen, Councillor. First, let me be thankful for the graciousness of Almighty God, and I invoke His Spirit so that we can continue to move in the direction that we are moving. But I first must take the opportunity to congratulate the Honorable Kamala Shushila Prasad Bisesa and the full team of stars that would have won on the 26th to take us from where we are and to bring the light one more time to shine in this country so people could now get back good governance under the leadership of Kamala Prasad Bisesa and Team UNC. Elections have consequences. And I want you to remember, choices, not chances, determine your future or your destiny. Choices, not chances. There were those who took chances some years ago, and we are left with the chaos that you see now. The people of St. Joseph would have had a MIA Member of Parliament. In fact, the only time you see the word MP is if you go in the supermarket and you're looking for ketchup, you would see MP. Some people call him Ming Piling. I suppose the acronym for MP, because he's a Ming Piling. You are sitting here and I see some of you brushing away insects flying around you. This man is the Minister of Health, but I feel he should be the Minister of Sentence and staying there, because his own constituency is being eaten by mosquitoes, as is the constituency of Baratari at San Juan. Throughout the country, wherever this man touch does not turn to gold, it just gets old. He's a destroyer. He's a hater. He lies so much that I think his name has been rechristened to the Liar Singh, because he's the liar, just like his leader. Just like the AG, he's a liar. And liars must be treated in a particular way. And we have the answer and the antidote. The name of the individual is Anil Roberts, and the antidote is standing right there. That's the power that we will use. In every municipality, you have what is called a regional coordinating committee. In this committee, according to Chapter 2504 of the Municipal Corporation Act, Section 253 requires that a committee called Regional Coordinating Committee is formed with the heads of WASA, the heads of T&Tech, the heads of the housing development, throughout where the agencies are required. The heads must be there. The regional leaders must be there. Why did they form that? The reason is very simple. So you get people directly sitting in a meeting with councillors, so you get issues dealt with dispatched. What you have coming at Regional Coordinating Committee is a poor excuse of individuals who are sent there just to report back to their principals and seniors. Have you looked at Arangwe's main road, notwithstanding Mr. Timal, the Minister of Local Works here, and what you see in El Socorro main road? Have you looked where people have been complaining for years? People are falling in and suing the regional corporation, etc. But the jurisdiction with these two roads, as is the highway and the Eastern Main Road, falls squarely on the shoulder of the Minister of Works, another cryptic liar, a defeatist in his own right. They only look after big mega projects. They look after big buildings. They look after their friends and financiers. And the poor people of Trinidad and Tobago must continue to suffer. Would you all continue to take that nonsense? Are you ready to take back Trinidad and Tobago? What lies ahead of us, and what lies ahead of you, and what lies behind you is nothing compared to what lies within you. You have the power. You have it within you to make the difference and the changes. Those words are words that were uttered by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Those words means within you, you have the power to do what you have to do to remove it. Do not sit down on the side and wait for someone to wait to hear what you would say. You get up and get. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Let us take back St. Joseph. Let us take back the country. Let us remove these liars. I think the example is clear. There used to be a businessman named Dudun Ramsarup. And when you hear like what happened in England, where the cabinet fell apart, you used to go by Dudun to get our next cabinet. Because he used to make furniture. What I think this place needs is not our next cabinet. What we need is to get rid of the broken cabinet that is presently plaguing our society, just like the mosquitoes are plaguing St. Joseph Barataria and the country. We need to get rid of them. And the antidotes, you have it, and we have the leadership that could take us there. Stand up and be counted. Do not sit by and allow this to pass. Mobilize, 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 and let us destroy this cryptic-minded lying PNM and bring back good governance to Trinidad. You all remembered it in 2010. You all tasted what it was like. Do not forget. Let's get back there and do what we have to do. I want to tell you that on the Arangwes Road, on the El Sicora Road, and you watch the large gaping holes, and the excuses are that trucks and them driving up on it. That's not my business. That's the police business. The law says you can't go up there. So where are they? Where is the Ministry of Works Highways Division to desilt the drains so that when a little bow child fall, a little rain, you've placed flooding, Arangwes Road flooding, boundary extension flooding, you name it, Mohammed Trace flooding in Barataria. The MP is inundated with continuous requests of problems that they have. Rodent infestation all over the place. Chaos is reigning in our country. Let us don't look for the Pied Piper, because we have the leader who is carrying the weight on her shoulders together with her magnificent team. All of you inclusive, because you are the team UNC. Let's move forward and take back St. Joseph and keep going forward as we continue to do what we have to do. I said earlier on, choices, not chances, determine your destiny. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi said, a small body of determined spirits, fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission, can alter the course of history. I want you to pay attention to what you think you cannot do. When Barack Obama was going up, they tried to call him Hussein to align him to the Middle East. Why? Just how they tried to put Shushila as a name aligned to a particular individual and culture. But small amount of people with unquenchable determination can change the course of history. Be part of that movement. Are you ready to remove the PNM? Are you ready for the war? Are you willing to come out and fight? Long live Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Long live the United National Congress. Long live you, the soldiers and the supporters of the United National Congress. To all the people who came from far and wide, I thank you for being here to add and send the message so that we can move forward and take back our beloved country. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Alderman Nazimul. Let's say it one more time for the Alderman. You know, Alderman Nazimul spoke of something there, and I had the honor of being with Alderman Nazimul and Councillor Ahmed Suknanan during the period 2016 to 2019 when I was the Councillor for Sawa East. And Naz, as we fondly call him, and Ahmed will remember, there's something called a regional coordination meeting once a month where stakeholders like WASA, TNTEC, all the external agencies, they will meet with the corporation and see where they can lend help. But you know what? Ministry of Works was absent in those regional coordination meetings for months on end. Naz, do you remember that? For months on end. I don't know what's the status now, if it's the same thing. But I remember at that point in time, it was so bad that the minister himself, Rohan Sinanan, had to make an appearance and had to assure us, don't worry, the next week, the next meeting, you're going to see a Ministry of Works representative. Guys, you know what happened in our next meeting? Nobody showed. So not only are they liars, they are just pure, utter failures. And you know what? We have to save our country. The youths have to come together to rally and stand up for what is good. Having said that, I would like to introduce another youth, a very dynamic activist from the St. Joseph area. He is a national actor. He is also a member of, he became vice president of the St. Joseph Village Council recently. Please welcome a very dynamic, hard-working, dedicated youth man, Mr. Aaron De Matas.
Good night, St. Joseph. Let me start by saying a pleasant good night to all NATEX members, Mr. Saddam Hussein, Mr. Arnold Roberts, the next MP for St. Joseph, and of course, our political leader, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Now, let's get down to business. Tonight, I want to talk about the MP for St. Joseph, Terrence Dial Singh, or Terry the Ghost, as we may call him, because he's never wrong. When you do see him, he hits the famous words. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Next, you, brothers and sisters. But when you're driving on the roads these days, it's like you're going through the Bocas. You know the Bocas from Tobago? The up and down. And don't talk about how much it's cost to repair tires on a weekly basis. And crime.